Wow, there is a sea of red as far as the eyes can see. It is the most joyous season of the year, where festive spirit of the Chinese New Year is celebrated. So now's the time to soak in the vibrant revelry and feast on festive dishes to celebrate good luck and new beginnings.
Come see the beauty only on See Indonesia. See Indonesia.
Who says we only get to celebrate the New Year on January 1st? Well, for those of Chinese descent, the New Year is celebrated at least twice annually. The Chinese New Year is tied to the lunar calendar. It starts on the first new moon that spans from the end of January to the next 15 days of the first month until the full moon.
Kongsi pacoy.
So this is the time when people gather with their families and pay respect to their ancestors. But don't worry, in the Bun Sanbyo temple, everyone is required to follow health protocols during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Everything is covered in red. But no, we are not celebrating Taylor Swift's newest album launching. That's because in Indonesia, today we are celebrating the Chinese New Year. Now, why red if you wonder? That's because this color is meant to ward off the evil spirits and it's gonna bring fortune into life.
For your information, the color red was not chosen without reason. Because there's a whole story behind it. Legend says that once upon a time, there was a monster called Nian, which literally means year. It would attack the residents of various villages at the start of each new year. However, it was afraid of loud noises, bright lights, and the color red. So, they used it to chase it away. Talking about beasts, each year in the lunar calendar is represented by one of the 12 zodiac animals in Chinese astrology. Now is the year of 2022. And forgive me if I'm wrong, but based on my research, it's the year of the water tiger. Or is it?
Betul sekali tadi kamu bilang itu macan air. Macan air itu ya, macan itu kan sifatnya kan binatang yang keras ya sifatnya, makanya tahun ini juga agak sedikit keras, cuma banyak gejolak kecil, tapi karena kebetulan ini tahunnya air, jadi bisa gejolak apapun bisa diredam gitu, tidak akan terjadi masalah lah kira-kira gitu.
Aiming to that, and may we collectively pass any storm that lies ahead. Moving on, they say there is more to see in the backyard. Well, what's that on the corner? Wait, that's not an altar. What is it?
This is the sacred site of Raden Surya Kencana, a religious leader who spread Islam in West Java. Today, there are a lot of Muslims who came for a pilgrimage at this holy site. I personally think it's so interesting to see a holy site of Islam located in a vihara. It really shows religious diversity and tolerance, doesn't it?
It should come as no surprise though, because Tangerang is known for its acculturation. And that's why it is a common sight to see diverse believers from various religions come to this sacred site to pay their respects.
So, there's a backstory behind this bed. It was said that Raden Surya Kencana used to take a rest under the tree in front of this vihara, and during his rest time, he taught Islam to his loyal followers. So because of that, his loyal followers built this bed so that every time Raden Surya Kencana visited the tree, he could take a rest and sleep in the bed.
The sacred site was originally located near the Cisadane River, but it was almost destroyed due to water abrasion. So, it was relocated to the back of this vihara. Before I conclude my journey in this temple, there is one Chinese New Year ritual I must do, and that is Chiamsi.
Now, we're going to try Chiamsi, a Chinese ancient fortune telling to predict your future and luck on this upcoming year. People usually do it before and during the Lunar New Year, so let's try this. So now we're going to try to shake this wooden glass consisting of a lot of bamboo sticks, and we have to shake it until one of them falls down.
A stick will fall and the number on it will indicate your fortune. Ah, here's my number. Okay, I'm putting it on the altar.
So now that I'm getting number 12, now I have to ask for affirmation from God if 12 is the right number for me or not.
All I have to do is just throw papue, which is a heart-shaped wood. If one lies on its back while the other lies on its face, it means you are blessed, and you can read your fortune based on that number. But if both sticks lay on their backs or on their face, I'm sorry, but you have to repeat the ritual all over again. You have a maximum of 3 shots in Chiamsi. It surely isn't my lucky day, because I have tried 3 times and none of them worked out. Thankfully, Koh Bebeng said I could try another 3 times. So here you go, 4 shot. Yeah, still not working out, I see. Never mind, 5th time.
Number 10.
And... oh my god, I finally got it!
This is the prediction for number 10. Now, let's ask Koh Bebeng to interpret it.
Semakin kamu merendah, semakin kamu sopan, santun dijaga, jangan sering ribut sama orang, kamu akan semakin karir kamu makin cemerlang. Tapi kalau kamu congkak dan sering ribut sama orang, turun dia.
Oh, wow! That's like the actual saying, you reap what you sow. I like that. Fun fact, my Chinese zodiac sign is also the tiger. So it seems that I need to roar into the New Year 2022 with more humility and kindness to others. So, I'm opening a new chapter and cleanses any misfortune by releasing a bird during the Fang Sheng ritual. It is done as an act of love and compassion to all living beings. Another distinct feature of the Chinese New Year is the Chinese basket cake, or traditionally known as Nian Gao.
This is the famous Chinese basket cake, and this is an obligatory cake that needs to be served during Chinese New Year, both at homes or in vihara. Usually, days before the Chinese New Year, a lot of ethnic Chinese descent make or buy this cake in a lot of stores.
But it's no fun to hear the story of the basket cake this way. So let's travel back in time to 2 days before the Chinese New Year started.
When talking about Chinese New Year, there is one thing that you shouldn't miss, the famous Chinese bucket cake. Right now, I'm at a store in Tangerang that sells the signature Chinese bucket cake. So, let's go get some.
Wow, what a busy time for the store! A lot of cardboards here and there for the consumers to bring the cake home. Aside from selling basket cakes, the store also sells the famous dodol, a sweet toffee-like confection based on sugar plum.
Oh, this one has cashew on it. Interesting.
Kue keranjang Nyonya Lau was firstly opened in 1962 by the grandfather of the family, Lau Sun Lim. Today, it is managed by the third generation of the family, specifically on the hands of Mrs. Iin Lau Kim.
Hari Raya Imlek mesti pada jajalin makan kue keranjang. Untuk leluhur buat sembahyang, ke orang tua, ke wihara. Untuk mengadakan juga makan di rumah. Misalnya kan mau Imlek, setelah Imlek cap gome. Ntar kalau mau bikin lagi Lebaran Idul Fitri, bikin kue keranjang.
The chewy round-shaped cake signifies a strong or unbreakable bond, and that's why it is shared with families, neighbors, and close friends. Meanwhile, this stacked basket cake is usually served as an offering for deceased ancestors during prayers.
I may have stumbled upon the Chinese bucket cake a lot of times in my life, but the truth is I actually have never even tried it. So, now that I've already got the chance, let's try it out. Okay, first bite, let's try this. So chewy and not too sweet, which is good because I'm not much of a sweet tooth. And I can even taste a hint of this banana leaf, and I think it adds a sweeter accent.
It's so fun to try this out because the cake is so chewy and sticky. But wait, have you ever wondered what is the secret recipe behind this basket cake?
Yeah, I'm also really curious to know. So, without further ado, let's see the process behind the cake. Let's go!
First things first, you gotta soak the raw sticky rice for a night, then rinse it carefully before putting it in the mill. It is then mixed together with sugar. But I'm sorry that we can't see this process because it is their last day of production. In the meantime, don't forget to create the basket with bamboo and cover it with banana leaf. After the dough is ready, it is then poured into the basket.
Like a pro! I hope I'm pouring it right. Okay, that's enough. So you gotta pour it in a full scoop and then pour it down here to the basket and then weight it up and voila!
Each basket weighs around 500 grams. But we have to wait for the other baskets to start steaming. Because one batch can steam up to 400 cakes. The smell is great. I can sense the sweetness in the air. In this factory, they can produce up to 2 tons of basket cakes daily. They will then stop making the cakes 2 days prior to Chinese New Year.
This is the famous Chinese bucket cake that was just steamed fresh from the firewood. Now it's gonna be packed on the cardboard, and after that you can save this up to a year in the refrigerator. Amazing, isn't it?
I almost forgot to tell you. The basket cake, or nian gao in Chinese, means year high. It symbolizes higher income, growth, and the promise of a better year. I don't know about you, but if eating this gluten-free dessert would give me good fortune, then yes, please count me in. We visited a temple and tasted the Chinese New Year basket cake. But sit still, because we're getting into the most exciting part of the party, the dinner.
What is a Chinese New Year festivity without some culinary adventure? That's why right now I'm at a Chinese Muslim restaurant in South Tangerang to celebrate the Lunar New Year by having the grand Chinese traditional dinner. So let's try check it out.
Long Feng Tang restaurant was launched on January 2021. It brings halal authentic dishes from Harbin, a city in northeast China. It was built by a young married couple, and the wife is a Muslim Chinese who came from Harbin and want to offer authentic Muslim-friendly Chinese cuisines for Indonesians. It is the perfect place to have family dinner or try signature Chinese dishes with your friends. Okay, we are now waiting for the food to arrive. But you know what? I just can't sit still because it's just not my nature. So why not see what's happening out there? No way! There's a magic show here! What are the odds? Excuse me, but I refuse to believe that he could carry that stick using his forehead. Another one. You must be kidding me. Because how? I just have so many questions on my mind.
How does he do it? I mean, that's impossible, right?
Whoops! I think the magician hurt me. Because now he's asking me to join the show. Hopefully I won't mess things up.
Oh. Okay. Terima kasih. I didn't know that I could do that as well.
That was so fun. Glad I could unlock a new skill in New Year as a magician. But for now, let's go back to the dining table.
Let me ask you a question. What is a good way to start the Chinese meal? The only right way is to eat the dim sum first. Here we have joyous dim sum and we have the chili oil. Okay, I'm gonna try the first bite of the joyous dim sum. Dip it in the chili oil first. It consists of minced beef and vegetables in it. I think there are carrots, onions, and some other greens that I don't know. And it tastes so juicy, so tender.
Fun fact, the more dumplings you eat during Chinese New Year, the more money you will make next year. That's because the shape resembles ancient ingots of silver and gold, which symbolize wealth. I'm so down for it.
Okay, now the next dish we have is this gansu lanzhou beef noodle. Okay, now the challenge is I have to eat it whole and don't cut it. Okay. I really like it. The broth, it's so light, but at the same time, it is also rich in flavor, and the noodle, super soft and also chewy.
There is no doubt that long noodles are distinct to the Chinese New Year. If you can eat it from the beginning to end without breaking it, then everything will be smooth in the upcoming year. Amen to that.
Now, we're getting into the heart of the meal, the fish. It is a must to eat fish in every Lunar New Year celebration. So in here, we have the carp fish with tofu skin, Chinese cabbage, and bok choy. And the carp fish is also decorated with some mushrooms, nuts, chili, and also garlic. Oh, let's try this.
In the Chinese language, fish is pronounced yu, meaning surplus and fortune. And that's why you should never skip it, as fish is the last course of the feast.
The fish is so soft, and the sauce is kind of spicy, but it's not that chili spicy. Instead, it's peppery spicy, if you know what I mean. Okay, this is the tofu. I'm always a big fan of tofu, and I can assure you that this tofu is really, really tasty. One of the perfect tofu that I've ever eaten.
Another important note, try to not break the main bones of the fish because it symbolizes completeness.
The best way to ease the spiciness is, of course, to drink the Chinese herbal tea. Okay, now to pour it down, you have to turn it around.
In China, herbs have been used to heal, boost, and nourish the body. The Chinese herbal tea itself is seen as a healthy way to prevent illnesses.
Voila! Here comes the Chinese herbal tea. It's so calming. There's a hint of flowers on it. I feel like it just brings a kind of tranquility into my stomach. And yeah, it's very light, but also very tasty at the same time. I feel like I'm kind of addicted to it.
What a feast! Although Chinese New Year dishes are often served for their symbolism, but I just can't stop eating because my taste buds are dancing to the flavors and spices. Through rich tales and the age-old traditions, all in all, celebrating the Chinese New Year means removing the bad and the old while welcoming the new and the good. So let's give a toast to the joy that never fades and the courage that never dies in the roaring spirit of a happy New Year.